Hey everybody, this is part 2 of my caterpillars and plants for this week's videos. And this is Smartweed. I'm sure many of you know it. It's very common. There are a lot of different species though, and this is what is cool to me. Just like with the plantain that I posted earlier, there are native species of Smartweed. And some of them look very similar to our non-natives, and so I tend to think of this as one that most people think of as, oh, it's in waste places and it's a weed and needs to be pulled. And we've never managed Smartweed because we love Smartweed. Many years ago, we saw a Smartweed caterpillar, which I'm going to show you in a minute, on this plant at a county park in Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is where we're from. And I've just been enchanted with those caterpillars ever since. And these plants just tend to not be an issue anywhere, even in our garden, because they just share space. That's what I've found. But you can tell these plants usually just quickly by the joints in the stem. So this is in the Polygonum family, and you can see these different joints all the way down. So I need to bust out the book and actually work on an ID on this one, because this looks different to me than a lot of the ones that we see in other parts of the garden. So let me show you the spectacular caterpillar that feeds on this plant. Steve was out here the other night and the lighting was just perfect, and he spotted, I don't know, easily just like 30, just like that. Hey buddy, can I get you? There we go. Look! Holy cow! So these caterpillars are called Smartweed caterpillars, and they turn into smeared dagger moths. Those are a native moth, and they feed on a couple other plants, but they're called Smartweed caterpillars so frequently because they're so often on that plant. Look at them! I mean, that coloring, that is cool. Let's see, let me find you a couple more. So I was just kind of flabbergasted though when I opened the book, just like right after the plantain, and found out how many of these are actually native and that are just talked about in this negative light. Whoa. I got a lot to learn, friends. Look at that beauty. Look at that. So they will overwinter, from what I read, in a light cocoon down in the soil, in the leaf litter. And so that's why we are very careful in our management of all these areas and don't cut too soon. So take a look. I'm sure you got some Smartweed around you, and I bet you got some Smartweed caterpillars. And you can take a look and then get real excited because they're really awesome. And the smeared dagger moths are really great too. And we should really applaud these common plants and insects, shouldn't we?